Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So, Donald Trump has revoked the Equal Employment Opportunity Act of 1965. When Black people take one step forward or two steps forward, they take them back. How many times? Like, straight up. How dare you move forward? I don't know how I feel. I am not in the best mood, but I think it's the right thing, you know. When some people fought so hard, your ancestors fought so hard for you to have all this. They've worked so hard, they suffered. So we're unalive for you to have this. And you all messed it up because you all are selfish. And to every black man and woman that is causing this or that caused this, you all are part of the problem. You know, one thing for sure is that this man did not lie about the things he was going to do. He made it very clear that he was going to do it, right? But some folks said that he wouldn't do it. I remember talking about Project 2025. Some said Donald Trump had nothing to do with it. You all were fighting me, especially some said they are FBA. You all were fighting in the comment section. I hope you all can say it. Let's get into this.
For every black Republican, I really want y'all to take a long look in the mirror and ask, do you love the color of your skin? Because y'all allowed this man in office. It's something that our ancestors fought for, got beat for, got dogs on them, got sprayed with water hoses, got hung for. They fought for these rights for us, and y'all squandered them away for money. Y'all squandered them away just to be closer to white people. What a disgrace y'all are to our community. My mom wasn't even born when this shit came through. My mom wasn't even born. And you mean to tell me y'all let this man take this from us? Something our ancestors fought for? Y'all really let that shit happen? If you are black and you voted for this man, go play in traffic. Because this shit right here, this should have never happened. Everybody is about to suffer for this. Everybody. Everybody. Race, color, religion, national origin. This man is making America white again before Jim Crow. And we told y'all that. We told y'all he is trying to take us back to Jim Crow. And y'all sat there and y'all said, I don't want DEI. I don't want an advantage. DEI is not a fucking advantage. It's just to put us in the room because we're just as qualified as any other white man. And y'all let this shit go down. I'm going to try not to cry because the bitch got a meeting.
So what I learned today is a lot of y'all you don't care about your history. You don't care about the people that made sacrifices for you to be able to be where you are today, to be able to do the things that you're able to do, to be able to have the opportunities that you're able to have. You don't care about it. I just got off the phone with my mom, who just got off the phone with her mom, my grandmother, who she had to console because she was boo-hoo crying, and my mom didn't realize why. My grandmother was crying because she had saw the news that the orange man in charge had just put an executive order to repeal the Equal Opportunity Employment Act of the Civil Rights Act of 1965. Now, understand, before that executive order was placed, that stood for over 50 years. An employer could literally tell you to your face, well, I'm sorry, I don't hire black people. I don't hire women. And no consequences. They could literally be just that discriminatory towards people. And the reason that it upset my grandmother so much is because she remembers my great grandmother and great grandfather, her parents, the sacrifices, the marching, the hard working, the speaking out and trying to help change, trying to help get these opportunities for us, and the sacrifices these people made to their own families, not to being around their families sometimes because they were fighting for the good of us as a people, as a whole. And all this time later to see what you might what you might think is trivial, what you might think is small, to see something that they worked, sacrificed, clawed, and scratched for be taken away by the stroke of a pen. And all because a few of us, not saying a lot of us, a few of us, because it was 92% and 80%. But every one of us counts. And a few of us decided a little bit of money was more important than preserving our history, than preserving the things that we fought for, to be able to have opportunities in this place. It's just sad, man. It's sad that, you know, the further we get away from those times, the further our elders pass away and leave this world, and we aren't taught the things we need to be taught, and the knowledge isn't passed on to us. The further we get from that, the more and more easily it's going to be for us for things to roll back and go back in that direction. And I mean, it's unfortunate, but hey, man, just gotta keep grinding, keep fighting a good fight, and you know, look for better days, work towards better days. But man, just hearing my mom and knowing that hurt my grandmother like that it's crazy, man. Yeah, we gotta do better. As a whole, we gotta do better.
I'm gonna keep it really short and sweet, but Donald Trump did away with the Equal Employment Opportunity Act today, and if you voted for him, we cannot be friends. We can't be associated with one another because your vote was personal.
Welcome to George Orwell's 1984. And this executive order signed by President Donald Trump is an example of double speech. President Donald J. Trump protects civil rights and merit-based opportunities by ending illegal DEI. Now, before we get into what this executive order signed today does, let's take a trip back 60 years ago to 1965 and Executive Order 1124-6, the Equal Employment Opportunity Executive Order signed by Lyndon B. Johnson as part of civil rights packages. This executive order was an attempt to right historical wrongs caused by the disparities in hiring practices of the federal government that heavily favored white people. Executive Order 1124-6, a cornerstone of the civil rights movement, prohibited discriminatory practices in hiring and employment in government contracting and asserted the government's commitment to affirmative action to address historical wrongs. Historical wrongs that had been in place since this country's birth in 1776. This executive order by Donald Trump reverses all of that. In his order, he states he's protecting the civil rights of all Americans and expanding on individual opportunity, when in essence, amongst the provisions in this executive order is the elimination of any reference to diversity, equity, and inclusion in federal government contracting and spending. And the justification for this reversal? According to this executive order, the government would instead focus on speed and efficiency. Under this Orwellian double-speech executive order, the office that oversees contracts for the government would be prohibited from pushing contractors to balance their workforce based on race, sex, gender identity, sexual preference, or religion, the very things outlined in Johnson's Equal Employment Opportunity Executive Order of 1965. This executive order is just another example of how this administration has moved swiftly to eradicate all programs and practices in the federal government aimed at addressing historical systemic inequalities in this country and an erosion of all the gains made since 1965 in accordance with the Civil Rights Movement. Allow me to be clear. This is why I say that everybody who supported Donald Trump is the enemy, and I will not be looking for any kumbaya moments with the enemy. Also, everybody who is silent in the face of injustices because of their hurt feelings, you are complicit with the enemy. I said what I said. Feel about it how you will.
I'm going to try to stay calm, but I'm not. But I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck J.D. Vance. Fuck Elon Musk. Fuck everybody who considers himself a Republican or a conservative. Fuck every Supreme Court justice. Fuck every Democrat who's weak and ineffectual. Fuck every black person who refuses to pick up a fucking book and learn anything. Fuck every black person who doesn't know their history. Fuck everybody who voted for Donald Trump. Fuck everybody who said, well, I didn't know who was the better option, so I just didn't show up. How the fuck do you not know who's the better option? There was one viable option. Only one candidate was qualified. Fuck every single one of you Palestinian Americans who told us to vote for Jill Stein and told other people to sway the vote so that Kamala wouldn't get it so Donald Trump could, so he could turn Gaza into a fucking parking lot. Fuck all of you. You voted against your best interest. Fuck all of you Hispanic people and Latino people who voted for this man thinking that you weren't going to be a victim of mass deportation. I hope you guys get exactly what you voted for. I really do. And I don't give a fuck about you or your bloodline. I really don't. We tried to tell y'all. We told you over and over again. But I'm so pissed off, especially the black people who didn't give a fuck, because this man was given the green light to basically reverse everything that our ancestors fought for. And now all of us who actually give a fuck about our people are going to have to fight to do that work again. Fuck every single one of you.
I'm going to be very short and very to the point. To the white people watching this, and especially to the white people that know me in the real world, my friends, okay? Today, Trump did away with the Equal Employment Opportunity Act. You know the history of that, and you know why it had to be implemented in the first place. So when you went in that booth, if you cast your vote for Donald Trump, we're done. If you didn't hear me the other times I've said it, I just want to reiterate it now. You cannot vote for somebody that takes away the Equal Employment Opportunity Act, knowing the history behind it and why it had to be put in place. You can't cast your vote for him and look at me and tell me that you love me. You're done. And I mean that for life. Unfucking believable. They try to paint it as this saving grace for civil rights when really they just want to fill the federal government with all of their selected employees that are loyalists no matter what. So even after the 4 years that Donald Trump is done, even if another MAGA loyalist or Republican takes the presidency, they still have to go through all of this bullshit because now you got only MAGA federal employees. No diversity, no inclusion. Talking about some fucking based off merit. We know what it has to be based off. Did you bend the knee to Donald Trump? Cool. You now have a job in the federal government. We fired everybody else. You knew what you were voting for. Donald Trump knows he cannot run again. If you think that you think they're doing all this shit just to disappear in 4 years, they're setting it up for the long game. They're setting it up for the fucking long game. So now if I go in and I want to get a loan for a home, if I want to get a business loan, I guarantee you it's going to be so much easier for the white man who they love and select to get a loan than it is for me to start my business. Fast forward into the next generation, my bloodline is now affected because I couldn't start my business as soon as this guy could because he's white and he got the loan. It's an example, but do you see how shit like this affects generation after generation after generation? We get robbed of opportunities because of your selfish ass vote. Did he sign an executive order for price gouging? Did he sign a fucking executive order for these grocery stores to stop looking at you with no fucking money and increasing the prices anyway? That's what he told y'all. Where's the executive order for that? Oh, well, it's a process and it's complicated. It can't, excuses. Like it always fucking is from y'all. Done, dude. Out my fucking face, man. Think about how big of a fucking pussy you have to be, man. You don't want anybody criticizing you or speaking out against your ideology, so you try to suppress the flow of information and social media because you're a strong leader, but you can't take fucking criticism. And then on top of that, when you lose or when your people lose, you blame it on fucking DEI and the corrupt government. Because the guy who you fucking lost to is not fucking white, but he's also more qualified than you. You can't fucking wrap your head around that. You have fucking terminal, incurable hatred in your heart. And it's genuinely not until recently I had to accept that even those type of people can fucking exist. I cannot control your existence, but I can control your access to my fucking life, bro. Out of here.
President Donald Trump's Justice Department has paused some civil rights work and may change police reform agreements made during President Biden's term, according to memos seen by the Associated Press. The department has stopped filing new cases for now and asked staff to report any agreements finalized in the last 90 days. These agreements, called consent decrees, are court-enforced plans to fix problems in the police department found guilty of civil rights violations. 2 agreements under review involve police reforms in Louisville, Kentucky, and Minneapolis, Minnesota. Both were created after investigations into police misconduct, including the cases of Breonna Taylor and George Floyd. Now, we know a lot of people are worried that Donald Trump is going to have police immunity, and that will protect or not protect people that might be subject to police brutality and etc. However, Donald Trump has said plainly that all these changes that he's making, taking away equal opportunity acts, even putting this pause, even the pause with like the FDA and the various industries, is because he wants to improve the industry's efficiency. And people are freaking out, especially people that didn't vote for him. People that did vote for him are like, yeah, he's doing everything he said. But it's important to wait and see exactly what takes place in the next couple of days, weeks. But I want to know what you guys think about this. Is this absolutely crazy? Is this a change we needed? Let me know in the comment section and follow me for more videos like this.
Donald Trump has revoked the equal rights employment opportunity. Hey, this act literally outlawed discrimination in hiring when it comes to race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. So when y'all say he's good for the economy for who? This man is setting us back in time. So when we ask, what part of America were we so great that you want to get back to? Apparently, before 1965, when employers had the right to discriminate against anybody they wanted to. On the internet, I've been chastised by conservatives for being stuck in the past for the past 5 years. Just for this man to get back in office and make legislation that sets us back in the past years, it sounds like y'all been projecting. You're obsessed with the past. You're stuck in the past. So the same folks that call us lazy for saying it's hard to get a job has now passed a policy that makes it harder to get a job, huh? Because what does it mean to revoke a policy that said discrimination was bad? I can see it now. Here come the shallow free thinkers in my comment section talking about, man, it's pretty clever that he did this though because it was helping us anyway. Man, shut up. They claim they're on radical change though, right? But if you revoke a policy that's been the law of the land for over 50 years, 60 years, how is that not radical change? Education is elevation, and I'm not telling you this to be outraged. I'm telling you this so you can be aware.
Blacks for Trump. Get y'all ass in here. Are you proud of yourselves? You feeling good about yourself now? Now that your board went in there and revoked the Civil Rights Act of 65. Yeah. He just erased the Civil Rights Act. That same act that gave us even footing in the job market. That same act that made them include us in the hiring process in those jobs. Because before the Civil Act was completed, we didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting some of the positions that now black people hold. And it's not a hands up. It's not giving an unqualified candidate a chance. It's giving qualified candidates a chance.
because the system was set up to always keep them down, to always not include them, to always make sure that you never get on certain levels. Well, that is back. Republicans for Trump, black Republicans for Trump, y'all might as well go ahead and hang them goddamn suits up. Yeah, the suits y'all was swagging in and all y'all little executive positions, all in those presidents and vice presidents and all of that. Get ready. Get ready. Because they're going to snatch those damn positions as well. So you can get ready to put them damn suits in mothballs. Just like all our other rights you guys sold us out for. All those years that our ancestors died, suffered, imprisoned, burnt out of their homes, burnt out of their communities, just to stand up and say, hey, we deserve just as many rights in this country that we built as the palm people do. And because the palm people put it in writing in the Constitution that all Americans are entitled to the American dream, we made them stand up to that and include us in Americans because, damn it, we are Americans. But thanks to you, Sambos, thanks to you, house niggas, thanks to you, sellouts, selfish, self-centering sellouts, we lost our Civil Rights Act and everything that detailed in that, or everything that entailed in that. We lost it. On his second day, he wiped out our rights. And then I had a Sambo in my comments the other day that I deleted and blocked, talking about why are Americans hating on what's good for America. Donald Trump is great for America. Proud Trump supporter. Well, you proud Trump supporter? You keep that pride when they shove your ass in a lesser position. You keep that pride when you can't walk through certain doors anymore. You keep that pride when they tell you got to sit your ass in the back. You keep that pride when they snatch everything our ancestors fought and gave their life for us to have today. You a bunch of fucking sellouts. You just like those ignorant slaves that turned in other slaves for a hot biscuit, for an extra fucking hot biscuit. Those are your ancestors. Those are the ones you came from. It's showing up. Your spirit says it all, baby. You just like them fucking sellouts back in the day. So I hope whatever is coming our way, I hope you fools on the front line you sit up and took the word of a man that has shown disdain for black people his entire life. Y'all shucked and jived and grinned up in that motherfucker's face and talked down to your own people. For what? How much longer you think you're going to be making them six figures? How much longer you think you're going to be able to hold them titles? Because it was only the Civil Rights Act that gave you those opportunities to get those titles. Because the white people were not going to allow you on that level. Qualified or not, degree or not, experience or not, they weren't going to let your ass in that door. And you fuckers just went out and slammed the door on us. Are you proud? You still feeling good? Is that tax cut you gonna get now, is that as sweet as it was before we just lost our damn rights? Before he just took them from us? It took us to 1965 to get in writing that we have equal rights, that we are equal citizens, that we are equal Americans. It took to 1965 to get that. And in 2 days it's gone. You have helped him push us back to Jim Crow. I want you to feel real good about that. I want all that pride, all that gusto, all that testosterone y'all had walking around here talking about blacks for Trump. I want you to keep that same energy when they got you shining his goddamn shoes. I want you to keep that same energy when these cops come out here and bash your damn head in, if not blow your brains out. You keep that same pride for Trump supporter energy. I want that to be on your headstone. Here lies a proud Trump supporter who was killed by a cop who Trump gave complete immunity. I want all that shit on your headstone. When you out here in these streets because you have lost everything, and don't think it can't happen. When you go to work and they tell you your job is no longer available, that we no longer have a need for this position, and they're only telling you that to wipe you out, reestablish the position and give it to a white man. Where your ass gonna be? Blacks for Trump? You still feeling good about getting that little tax cut on them little funky money? You still feeling good? Or what else was he supposed to give y'all? I'm sorry. I don't know what y'all hell was. Oh, I know. Y'all feel good because he saying anybody paying child support can carry the child during the year. Can carry the child on their taxes at the end of the year. That's an even swap out for you. I'm trying to figure out, what was it that he had that was so brass and shiny that it made you turn your back on your entire race? Whatever it is, you better hold to it so tight. You better hold to it so dear that it's going to get you through these next years that this man has planned for us. And as you can see coming out the pipe, they're not good plans. So whatever it is, you walking around here with your swag and boasting Donald Trump and you got all that shit in your car windows, whatever it is, you better hope that shit can sustain you for what he finna put on you. Because you have nobody but you. Everybody that knows you voted for Trump, as far as we concerned, you are Trump. We have no empathy. We have no sympathy. We will not be standing on the sidelines cheering for you or rooting for you or marching for you. You guys are sellouts. And sellouts are on their own. You are no longer part of our community. So good luck. Because we don't have your back on this one.
And I don't want to hear no sob stories from nobody who voted for Trump once he get to signing them executive orders. So if you're a federal worker that voted for Trump and now you have to go back into office, dummy. I remember last time y'all elected him president, as soon as he got in office, he started wilding. Next thing you know, we're seeing all these sob stories about people's families being broken up and they voted for Trump, but he doesn't care about them. We don't care about you either. We don't. I'm going to say it. And also, intersectionality matters because someone like Caitlyn Jenner will post something saying, congratulations to President Trump, thank God, but also still be a trans-identifying woman. At the end of the day, privilege don't change. And that's why you can't make somebody like her the face of the trans community, because she's always going to have access to privilege and power. So while Donald Trump is saying that there's only two genders, yes, it does negatively impact people in the trans community. But because of her access to resources, she don't care. But yeah, if you voted for him, keep your tears to yourself.
This is all I got from this video. I love the way he said, I am not telling you to be scared, but I am telling you to be aware, right? Like I've been saying this, it's really going to be a very long ride, right? But all I can say is that I choose not to be scared, and I am going to also tell people, do not freak out, because it is really wild how these people are gaslighting, or not just gaslighting, but they are gaslighters, you know. Now imagine working hard to achieve something, right? And then life became normal. And the same thing you worked for before got stripped away. So now you have to work again to get what you like. I don't know how to explain it, but I am sure you all understand what I am saying. I really feel sad. I feel bad for the man that said he had to call the mom to console the grandmother. I know what it feels like, because majority of the people that experience all these things or that fought for civil rights, some are still very much alive, or some, like, some were quite very young during that period and they are still very much alive. So they understand because they know. Now let me say this. The problem with some people is that so many people are very ignorant when it comes to this politics and when it comes to history. I've been screaming, the worst thing that will happen to any person is when you do not know your history. When you don't know your history, you repeat your history. Some people think it's a flex. The best you can do to your child or yourself is to learn history. And one thing with learning is that learning never stops. It's a continuous process. You have to keep doing it and keep doing it because you have to be up to date. All these young people do not understand. They've been saying, make America great. What great? What part of great do you think he was going to make America? When was it great for people that look like me? Or it looks like some of you do not understand that. People that did not experience some certain things will want to experience it, or will glamour it when they know nothing about it. Those that were screaming, let's make America great again, MAGA, do not even know what their ancestors went through, and they do not care to know. The problem is that majority of you are very selfish and stupid at the same time, because it's only a stupid person and a dumb person. Like he said, he loved the poorly educated, and he knew what he said when he said that. He meant it. And the people I am seeing around also are the same thing. Birds of the same feather, they flock together. Some people are ignorant. And when you are ignorant of your own history, you keep messing up. And I hope all these conservatives, I hope you all are doing great. And I hope some of you start looking for a job and you don't find it. I hope you start looking for doing something really that is very vital to you and you are not able to get it. Because the worst part of all this is that the ones that voted and the ones that did not vote are also going to fight it. When Black people take one step forward, they take them 10 steps backward. So it means in the end, this civil right will still have to be fought back again. The same civil right Black people helped every other person. They think it's only us that enjoy or benefit majority of those things, but I know it affects us more. You all really have to wake up. You know, the worst part of all this is that some people thought they are smart. Like the ones in federal jobs that voted, you are going back to your job to see it, to hear it. Really, I am really sick and tired of some people thinking that they are untouchable. Nah, slavery was beneficial to slaves. This is also part of it. Now, this is taking Black people back to Jim Crow, like on broad daylight in 2025. Those executive orders that they've been telling you that they are going to sign, some people thought it was a joke. No, it is not a joke. For all of you conservatives that I see online, and for those that came on in my comment section back then, some FBAs, and they made it known to me that I do not belong, or I am not supposed to talk about them. I don't know why they behave the way they behave. But I feel like people that will come out to do some certain things or chastise people over some certain things, or black people, you are in the comment section also talking ignorantly about your own black person. And then you write me on the email telling me that I am not FBA. Of course, I am not FBA. For those asking me, you know what? I wanted to talk about what is going on in Africa. You know what? You have a camera. People will listen to you more when you talk about what is going on in Africa, because go do it. You all suck. Do you know what it means for Civil Rights Act? Like how? How did he sign that? How did he pass that bill? You all think he loves you? No, he doesn't. Tim Scott and all that. No, he doesn't. And you all can feel it, but you all keep lying to yourselves. Why is it that you all do not have any post? Why is it that I do not see people handling anything? That tells you how much he feels about you. And you think you're smart. You are ignorant, simply ignorant, a dummy. And for all those people, for the white men and white women, for the Latinos, all of you, Cubans and the rest of them, the ones that refused to come out and did what they did, you know what? You all are also going to say it. Immunity is also headed its way. There is a video that I saw this morning about a young black man who needed an ambulance. You know what? I will still bring that video because, man, it is really going to be tough and everybody got to buckle up. I see a lot of them crying that I am a Trump girl, but I never knew it was because you are dumb. You are ignorant. You refuse to read. And when the people that know how to read were telling you, you call them ignorant because you don't know anything. And I hope for every black person, I am saying this and I meant it, for all the black people, whether migrants or that have their US, whatever you are, as long as you have you have that opportunity, or you were given the opportunity to vote. I don't care wherever you are from, and you voted for who you voted for. I mean, our ancestors judge you harshly because you all are mean. You all are very mean. And have the day you deserve. Bye for now.